is Aamir, and today I welcome you to the special episode of Insight, where we have a special guest working in an MNC. And this guest is not only special, rather he is our elite senior from our college. So I welcome you, Shubham Shankar, sir. Sir has worked in lots of MNC and got an opportunity to work in abroad also. So today in this podcast, we'll get to know about his journey of his life and which will be helpful not only for us, and rather for all the juniors studying in our college. So sir, we are very thankful that you are here.
We are very much delighted to have you here on this special occasion. So starting with question, sir, I want to know your journey, that how you went from a third-tier college to a very well-reputed MNC. So how it's all started.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Ankit and Aamir, for having me on your channel. So yes, it all started from Tech Mahindra. I am 2016 pass out from USET VBU from mechanical branch, and initially I was also not placed from our college placement, and I had to have a couple of interviews or off-campus interviews, which is where I was selected in Tech Mahindra. And I started working in Tech Mahindra in 2016 itself. I was fortunate enough to not drop that particular year or waste a lot of time, but yes, soon I was placed. I was even placed in Germany, but yes, comparing both of them, I decided to join Tech Mahindra. So yeah, that's how it started with my industrial experience. Obviously, a lot of changes were there because from a core branch, I had to switch to an IT industry, which is where I think I had some knowledge of C and C++, although those were very fundamental. And along with that, some knowledge of aptitude, reasoning, and maybe a combination or a correct synergy with communication skills. So all of them helped me basically fetch my job. And yeah, that's how it started. And I've been working for the last 4.5 years. Now, presently, I'm working with Virtusa as a business owner.
So sir, it was really inspirational view from listening from you. So yeah, Aamir.
So sir, as you were from mechanical, and for a core branch engineer, it is always hard to code, right? So how did you manage, and what made you take that decision to move on to that IT field?
Okay, so if I can be brutally honest, I think the number of jobs that we have got in mechanical is something that will always drive you to look for other opportunities. So we have just got a handful of industries for mechanical and one entrance examination, which is GATE. So you need to ask that question to yourself in the beginning itself, that are you ready for GATE, or is it something that you can give a try or you can strive, basically. So yes, if all of these are a yes from yourself, you need not to ask a lot of professors and everybody in the initial stage. But yes, you have to ask yourself, if yourself and if you are basically confident on getting a job through GATE, you should definitely work hard, kind of have that discipline, all of that routine, which would help you fetch a good job through GATE. But there's always a but for all of these questions. So you need to have a plan B as well, okay? Or if the answer is no for GATE, you need to start working towards other opportunities. We have got plenty. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't get a job or a core job and you are working in a mechanical department, okay? So which is where you can look for opportunities if you want to move towards IT industry. I think you need to have some basics of IT, which is either of a language C or C++. And anyways, mechanical gives you that analytical skill and slight a bit of that leadership quality also. So I think those two would definitely help you at least get in the IT industry. And if you constantly work on to your communication skills as well, I think that will always be that add-on if you speak to any of the interview panelists. So yeah, this is how it has been.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So it's always been dilemma for a person, when they just graduate as an engineering graduate, they always being confused from three of the options, and these three options are getting a job, or going for MBA or going for a GATE thing. So what are your take on those things? What the person, what would you would like to suggest them?
So, Ankit, it depends upon the person basically. How does he sees, or how does he look onto career opportunities? So, if you ask me for individually for MBA, I would rather suggest to have a job first, get some industrial knowledge, and then only go for MBA. So that's my personal opinion and my thought. So far, seeing all of the industries, because if you want to manage an industry, which is where you would be doing that MBA, you need to have some insights of how things work. Only then you will be managed or able to manage things more efficiently. I would not say that's the hard and fast rule, but yeah, I think in terms of managing things more efficiently, you need to have a very good insight of that.
True.
Okay, so which is where I'll give MBA a lower priority. In terms of jobs, I would definitely suggest, which is where everybody would like to have a job after they finish all of their 16 years of education. And in terms of MTech, what I would suggest is, if you have got a good branch knowledge, or if you have got a good experience or good knowledge with your branch papers, and you like reading more, going into research stuffs more, then I think I would suggest you to go for MTech. Okay, which is where you will kind of have more fine tuning of what you have already studied in your undergraduate program, and you'll be focusing on just one paper, right? Which is where you will get that expertise on that particular paper, and
it's always preferred that it's always preferred that if you really willing to pursue your further study, you really love reading a lot, going for the research field and all, then it's advisable to go for the GATE. Else you land up with a good job, and then if you are willing, then you can go for MBA. Yeah, right.
Right, Ankit, yes.
What is that one thing, sir, that college has taught you and that thing helped you throughout your career?
So there are a lot of things basically, Aamir, which college has taught me, and that has helped me flourish all across. Okay, but specifically, if you ask me that one thing, I would say how to survive in different circumstances. Okay, because once you come out of your comfort zone, and you would not be that lucky or that fortunate to have a job in your hometown, right? So you have to come out of your comfort zone, and which is where you will be speaking to a wider variety of people. You'll be doing a lot of new stuffs. So you have to be very energetic at your workplace, maybe, or while speaking to your people, your colleagues, and at the same time you also need to understand how to keep that sweet gap between a negative energy. Okay, otherwise those will all be hindrance for all of the work which you are doing, and the place basically in which you are living, because it would all be new for you, and you have to be very cautious along with all of the stuffs which you are doing over there.
True, sir. Because see, sir, BTech life is the thing that the student just becomes mature.
And when you get into college, you try to do something. You try to always try to learn something more and more. In order
that
to
thing is kind of raw.
Yeah. Right. Absolutely.
So, sir, as we know, you work with some well-reputed MNC. You work abroad. So I think somewhat communication play a very crucial role in the MNC. And being a third-tier college, a fresher is always face challenges in the communication. So, sir, when you were fresher, how you cope up with the communication skill? How you worked on it? Any tips you like to share with us?
Yes, definitely, Ankit. So that's a very important and a very good question, I would say, because I know people and students from our college, basically, where we would have a mix or a blend of both English medium and Hindi medium. Okay, yeah. But at the same time, while we are out for a job or while we are working in big industries, they would not bother if you are from what medium, right? So which is where you have to be as good as how others are, irrespective of what medium you are, right? So as you also said, I mean, in terms of some tips, I would just share my thoughts. Okay, how I have improved on my communication and how I am kind of continuously working on my communication skills. So I remember, I mean, in college days, I used to speak a lot to myself. Okay, I used to just put on the front camera, and even if that's a short intro of myself, I used to practice that. Okay, so if you practice at least the intro bit, right? The first question, which is from any interviewer, at least you are through
Tell
that.
me about yourself.
because that is something always by heart, right?
Yeah, tell me about yourself.
Yes, practice is something which you need to do a lot if you want to improve communications. Along with that, I also took some English newspapers, which is where you can kind of increase your vocabularies. And mostly I see while I used to go to hostels, because I was a day scholar, so I used to see English newspaper over there, but mostly it was used for putting plates and for eating. May not be. I'm kind of trying to generalize it a lot. That's not true for everyone, but that's how it was basically used. So that is also one good thing. I mean, in terms of reading newspaper, and along with that, if you listen or if you see English news also, that is also very, beneficial. At least for me, it was. Because that would at least give you that general awareness section also free as a coupon, along with your understanding how people speak. So while I was into college, Arnab Goswami used to be very active on Times Now and used to be very harsh on people. But yes, you should learn how to take good things from people, okay? Other than what bad things or whatever is not required, basically. So I started picking up from Arnav also, right? And because mostly the debates, when you see small screens onto the news box, everybody would be there speaking, okay? So you need to grasp things, how people perceive, how people take questions, even if those are offensive, how they answer gently. So all of these things you can even see and learn from TV debates. Other than just criticizing, these are all shits and everything is all pre-scripted, pre-orchestrated, and doing all of those stuff. See, if you go towards the negative energy, you would always be the crying baby, right? But if you start grasping things from there, I think that's what I would suggest people to do.
I do agree completely with you, sir.
Focusing on the good.
Like everything have a two aspect, that negative and the positive, and we should always look for the positive part by ignoring the negative.
Sir, every engineer, apart from his engineering knowledge, has some special abilities rather than some extra co-curricular activities or something else. So what were your things in these fields?
So
what were your interests?
I would not say special abilities, Aamir. But yes, I enjoy playing music, okay, singing. So I was in my school team as well. It all started from 2005 when I started singing in group songs, and which is how I also realized that yes, at least for some good reason, I think I have got a good voice, and I can make good use of it for my pastime actually. So it was very good. I also got an opportunity to represent my school at district, state, and even CBSE nationals. So that was a very good opportunity basically. And being into school and seeing the outer world is, I think, the best thing you can have when you get the opportunity of seeing how things are working. Okay, how to gel with people, how to be a team player. So all of those things start from there itself, Amit. And I like playing sports as well. I used to be a good cricketer basically. I was even selected in my school team once, but unfortunately I could not continue. And I think few days of practice onto our stadium, and then it was all into culturals, and because I was more inclined towards music and stuff. So that's my pastime basically. And recently I've started playing ukulele. So that's my new thing basically for my pastime, because you need to always keep your mind in peace. Okay, you would get a lot of chaos, and you can't be always at the corner and just see stuff. Okay, you have to have some responsibilities as well, which is where you would not be, I mean, at a young age you would not be able to accommodate or kind of handle everything very smoothly. But yes, it all comes from maturity and the experience that you gain, right? And how you take things, handle things. So all of those help you basically. Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree, sir. Sir, it's always been, people always face a problem on making good connection. So how much it is important to make a good connection in the beginning of your career? Like as a fresher, is it really necessary to make some good connection?
And that to come from a third-tier college.
Yeah, and it's just a myth for the person. Like I've seen many people that you need to have a very good connection if you want to settle down or landed into a good MNC. So is it just a myth, or is it something very much genuine for making a good connection as a fresher?
Okay, so as a fresher, if you feel or if you think that some of our college seniors and some of our maybe elder brothers or relatives are onto good positions or are onto some industries, and they'll just hold hand and take you along with them with some referrals. So that's not the truth. Okay, so they can just put your name to the talent acquisition team, and then you have to go through the entire process, which is your technical round, managerial round, HR round, and everything which anybody goes. But when we talk about freshers, I think it would not matter a lot, okay, with respect to connections. But what would matter more would be the guidance which your seniors are giving you or your relatives would give you with their experience. Okay, so that would definitely help you to get that guide. You can have that contacts, but yes, if you are thinking that if you have got contacts, would be all set in some job roles, that may not be true always. Okay, so have those contacts for guidance purpose only, and end of the day you have to work hard to fetch that job. Okay, so it would be all just on the guidance bit in terms of contacts. Yeah.
Like it's always preferred to work upon it or work on your skill, and just like work on your skill, you will definitely land up in some good MNC if you don't even have a good connection. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
But mentorship and guidance is also important. Like you need to work on some right direction, right?
Obviously, and it can be only done when you talk with your senior, and when you say your problem, that what you're facing, then they will share some insights to you. Then only it's going to work for you.
Yes, definitely.
So what are the prerequisite skills that an engineer should have in order to get placed into a good MNC?
Okay, so I think this is a question from every individual, because everybody would have the same curriculum, but not everybody would get the same job, right? Or even would get employed. So which is where I think we have to be very clear on the pointers which we need to be prepared right from the beginning. So I would see the first one as aptitude and reasoning, okay? Because that's the screening for any industry you go, be it an IT industry or a core industry. So the first screening is aptitude and reasoning. So you have to be very smart onto that, right? And when I say smart, you have to be very quick, okay? Because everybody would be solving that particular problem if you give them a day or two. But solving in those 60 or 90 minutes is the key for selection. So that's the first thing and the most important thing which I would say. Then comes your knowledge on the branch which you belong or the paper which you are reading basically. Okay, so you need to have knowledge of your core strengths or the papers which you are reading. So for example, if you are anything with IT, you need to have SQL, PL SQL, Java, at least basics you need to have, right? If you are from mechanical, you need to know thermodynamics, strength of materials and others. So likewise, it goes on. Okay. And third thing I would say on the soft skills part, right? You have to have that particular vocabulary or that speaking skill. And you also need to understand your audience, right? How are they? And accordingly, you need to communicate, right? So I think these are the three key things which I can suggest at this moment for fetching any job you like, or even if you go for higher studies. I think few of these would be really applicable.
Yeah.
These are the three
Communication have
mandatory
always,
skills.
yeah, and communication I think is always on a top priority. Should always have a top priority on all the three what sir has mentioned. I do agree. Sir, as we know that you have worked with a couple of multinational companies, you went abroad. So I wanted to know from you that how the things are different from India there.
And also, like, you went from Jharkhand to
Like,
that abroad.
yeah, you went from Jharkhand to abroad.
Many
So how the
challenges you have
things
faced.
change there?
Yeah.
And in matter of like, in matter of employment, in matter of like job security, in matter of aura. So how the things are different? I wanted
The
to
living
know.
standard of the people living there.
Yeah, because you have also worked in India and also worked in abroad. So like comparing the culture of both of them, how you like, what are the takeaway you have learned from these two culture?
Okay, I think you have shooted too many questions, but I'll take one by one. So yes,
Sure.
the culture is different while working in India and working in London. So you would see that difference while you start working. Basically, there people would give more importance to hard stops, when to basically log in and log out. Whereas if you see here, we would all stretch and we'll finish our work and then only stop. Okay. Whereas if you see in onshore, they would even stop for taking their dogs for a walk. Okay, they would just say, I need to take my dog for a walk, and they'll stop, do a hard stop at maybe 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. Right, which is where we slightly lag. Even if we have got a high priority work, we would always say, no, we are available on mobile phone. You can give us a call, and we are logging off at this point of time. So I think those are some changes in the way of working, and I think that is all because of competition that we have, because we being 1.3 billion, we have got a lot of backups. So if you are not doing that particular job, there will always be someone or the other who would like to pick up things, right? So because of that competition, I think all of this culture is getting evolved and kind of getting nourished. But I see that as a very wrong thing. And yeah, we need to be define or set the limit that this is how we should be working. Whereas one more thing, I mean, in terms of okay, go on.
No, please, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So yeah, one more thing I think which I see. So while we are at our late 50s or kind of reaching towards 60, we'll all start preparing for retirement, maybe buying lands, having our home, taking care of children or grandchildren. So this is how we would plan our late 50s or 60s. But if you see, or while I was seeing my colleagues over there, they would all be very energetic even if they are 60, and they'll prove that age is just a number. Okay. Yeah. So even they would like to have fun, go to different discs and have all of those things which me and you are doing as of today. So they would not see it as a limit. As long as they are all fit, fine, they would all be working till they like. Okay, I would not say that we should be working till our last breath. Okay, we need to give some comfort to ourselves as well and enjoy the piece of work which we have done for so many years. But yes, that mindset has to change, that it is all 60s and done. So we need, I think that is very good thing if we want to adopt from the West culture, other than just adopting anything which is just coming up.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, I think this is also one of the reason, the corporate jobs are getting more holistic day by day. The aura, we can see the like head office of the Google and the Microsoft. They have very kind of holistic culture, the kind of a lavish life as well as, work culture. You can go and enjoy your work there by doing some extracurricular activity like playing game, playing TT in your office. So I think these are.
It's all about mental health, right? Because
it's all
you should be healthy in every aspect in order to
balance that somewhat pressure and to balance your healthy lifestyle. So
the
that is why
work-life balance.
I think mental health is something. I mean, all of us knows, but nobody speaks. It's
True.
just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So they are doing such things, and I think these are being inculcated in this nowadays in many of the startups and many of the corporate in India as well. Sir, as we come across a different news that the pandemic hits the job market very badly, many MNC lay off their employee. So, as a fresher, that what are your suggestions? What a fresher should inculcate some good skills so that it's going to be work for and can land in their dream company.
Right. Freshers can give some examinations. Okay, there are a couple of platforms which I am aware and which I had also given at the time of maybe while I was passing out. It was CoCubes being the first one, then AMCAT, and then eLitmus. So these are a few of the examination or open platforms where you can register yourself, and they would help you with at least some interview. And then it is up to you or up to an individual how they can crack that interview or not crack, right? But at least in terms of getting the platform, whereas your college would not be able to help a lot in case you don't have any companies coming down to your colleges, and you are basically not a place student from the college, and you start searching for off-campus drives, right? So these 3 exams you can at least give so that the basic platform is all with you, and along with that you can always have an eye on the off-campus drives which are going on. There are multiple websites that will keep you informed. You just need to subscribe to them, right? And maybe you can make a list of all the companies which are mid-range companies, and you can always keep on applying onto them. And definitely every company hires freshers, and if you are through or your resume is through, you would get that opportunity of appearing in an interview, right? And in terms of layoffs, I think freshers are not that bad hit. It would be the higher management who has already got that fat package and is impacting the company. So it would be all impacted onto them and very less onto the freshers, because freshers would not get that fat salaries, and even if you remove them from the hierarchy, they may not impact on the overall journey or overall cost for that company. Yes.
So because freshers are the core of the company, right?
So I'll tell you my example. I was placed in Capgemini through CoCubes in February 2016. Okay.
Mhm.
And then in October, I gave one off-campus interview for Tech Mahindra, which is where I was selected in Tech Mahindra as well. So, and then since we had an early joining in Tech Mahindra, I was keen to join Tech Mahindra. So that's how it all started, and then that's how it is being kind of going for the last 4.5 years.
And so also, like, what I feel is we have to improvise our skills time to time, because if you have that particular skill, then I don't think that anyone can snatch your job from you.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that is one very good thing, Aamir, which you said. Sorry, Ankit, to cut short. But yes, you need to be very, I would say, skilled, right, in terms of where you are working, irrespective of what technology or what industry you're working. But accordingly, you have to always upskill yourself, because I was seeing one ad where we had one person holding a camera on the helicopter, and later on it was from a drone. So which is where that job has been taken by a drone. So in terms of technology, automation, cloud, and everything coming into picture, you have to be very skilled in terms of being an asset to the company, basically. Otherwise, there are a lot of automations waiting to kick your job. But as long as you have got those skills, I don't think so you need to bother a lot, because even if you don't have that job, there would be a lot of teams or talent acquisitions who would be in need of your skill and yourself. So that's how it all works, Aamir.
True, sir.
Yeah, that's good, sir.
So, sir, heading towards the last question of this podcast. Sir, any 3 best lessons of your life that you want to tell to your juniors or the ones who are studying in college right now, that are the millennials also? Any life lessons that you can share with them?
Sure, Aamir. Yeah. So I think one thing which all of us needs to always ensure is goal setting. Okay, you need to set your goals really, really high, and just not setting the goals, but also a strategic plan which helps you reach that level. Okay, and see, the problem or the good thing with high goal setting is even if you fail, you would land up somewhere in between. Okay, but if you set your goals low, then definitely there would be complications while you're not able to make it or towards your plan B. Okay, plan B is also something which everybody should be having, right? And yes, there may be there is a possibility that you get that success in one go, or you fail multiple times but you get that success. But yes, that goal setting is very, very important. But at the same time, you should not be saying that I just want to be a billionaire. That is my goal, and if I fail, I would be a millionaire. So it should not be like that. Okay, yeah. So it has to be meaningful, and it should be always backed up with the discipline and routine you should follow, right? So that is definitely one thing I would suggest everyone, including myself, to have that. And other than that, I think analytical thinking is something which is really, really important. You need to perceive things very clearly, learn how to develop that listening skills, and just not speaking over others and just speaking. I think that is also one thing that we are very immature at, and that comes with maturity and experience. I mean, to develop that listening skills, because that is really, really important. Because your response should be a response and not just a reaction or a react, right? Which is where even your listener or your audience would be impressed by you, that the response that they are getting is slightly meaningful to them and making some sense to them, right? So I think these two are the key things. And other than that, I think one thing which I already raised in the beginning of the call, I think communication skill is again one key thing which we all need to work upon and kind of keep enriching that. So I think, yes, if I can summarize it with three things, it would be these three, but there is a long list basically. And I think with the path that everybody has to take, or the journey that everybody has to travel, it itself is huge. So definitely the list cannot be these three.
I do follow the same, sir. You should always think high in your life, and this is a very famous quote I am touched with. If always aim for a moon, even though if you fall, you will land among the stars. So this is one of the most inspirational thought. I just keep in my mind related to what you have said, that when you are compromising with yourself, then you shouldn't do the same thing. And at last but not the least, I would really want to thank you, sir, for your precious time from your busy schedule, and hope this podcast is really going to be helpful for juniors and for the future graduates, those who are coming up from the engineering college, and hope they will use their best use of this podcast for shaping their future career. Thank you so much to be a part of this podcast. We are really happy to have you here. Thank you so much, sir.
And sir, hopefully you will be entertaining us with your singing and all.
Yeah.
So once again, sir, thank you so much, sir.
Hope to see you with some new friend, one again with some new song and all. So thank you so much to have you here, sir.
Sure, yeah, definitely you would hear me shortly, Aamir and Ankit. But apart from that, thanks a lot for having me on your channel. I really like the concept which you guys are doing, right? We are putting thoughts from the industry towards the graduates and the students who are working or basically studying in colleges. So which is a very good thing, which is why I was here basically. And yes, I would suggest everybody to just have a look on their channel, hit like, subscribe, and everything which YouTubers would like to have. But yes, I mean, other than the conventional YouTube videos, I think this is going really good. And I congratulate and thank both of you for having me over here.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
And we are going
Thank you.
to put your all LinkedIn handle on the description box. So if anyone is willing to ping sir directly, they can get in touch with him and ask for some good advice for their future career.
So
He's also a very good mentor.
cut short. Just to cut short, so I might not be very active on LinkedIn and others, but yes, if you need any help, I would maybe take some time to respond, but I'll definitely respond.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So
Okay, guys, thanks a lot. All the best.